All right, y'all. Welcome back to the live portion of 88 Fitness training every Sunday at 06 a.m. All right, we're talking about the true secrets to getting huge. This can get deep, and I'm interested to see where it goes.
Absolutely. All right, I got your answer in 2 words. Hard work. That's what. Nothing worth having comes with ease. Like, you're going to have to 100% put some effort into it if getting huge is your goal.
Very good point. Progressive overload. So I worked at Gold's Gym for 10 years, literally 10 years. And I saw the same group of people come in and do the same workouts with the same weights for 10 years. They had a decent physique, sure. But did they advance? Did they get any gains in 10 years?
Absolutely. No, I mean, and that's common across the board. Like, I challenge you to look around your gym at the people that are always there and see if they actually change, because 9 times out of 10, they look exactly the same. And the ones that are getting that stellar physique, those are the ones you're like, hey man, what are you doing to get huge? Because you look different this year.
Yes, stellar physique is very rare. I mean, even in the gyms, you go to the gyms, stellar physique, next level physique is rare. I mean, I stare at one when they come in the gym because they're so rare. I'm like, wow, look at this dude, or look at this girl, look at that physique. Why is it so hard to achieve that level? Why do so many people make it to that level? I've trained many trainers, personal trainers over the years who would do a set of 10, put the weights down, like not even break a sweat, lose their breath, anything. And I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
That was your warm-up set. I know you're not counting that. I said, oh, no, that's my first set. No, it's not. You just wasted your time.
Absolutely. So that's why I kind of started by saying it's absolutely hard work. If you're a beginner and you are like literally just off the couch, never really worked out in your life, especially consistency, you probably are going to pack on a ton of muscle that first year. And so you're like, hey, what I did worked. But if you keep applying that same kind of rep range, same weight range for another year and another year and another year, you're not going to continue to progress. So in fact, for a seasoned athlete like James and myself, it is extremely rare and difficult for us to put on substantial size year after year. And that's one of the things I think people get discouraged when they're like, man, you know, I didn't like all of a sudden grow this dump truck doing all these like squats and whatever. It's like, yeah, because that takes 3, 4, 5 years to build up. You're going to have to put the hard work in. You're going to have to put the time in.
Years. And you touched on it. Consistency. I've made a video about consistency. It is the #1 most important factor in your fitness goals. Consistency. Absolutely. If you're not consistent, you're just starting over.
Every time.
Let's say you take 3 months off from the gym. Some people argue they keep their gains. They don't. Look at the science. You're a trophy and you're not keeping your gains for 3 months. But for argument's sake, let's say you kept your gains for those 3 months you took off the gym. Those were still 3 months you could have added to your gains. But you did not, because you took the time off and you weren't consistent. Consistency, #1 most important factor to getting huge. First secret, and it's not a secret. Consistency.
Absolutely. Hey, what's up, Raj? Our #1 fan there. All right, so #2 thing I'll talk about, are you actually training for the right goal? I have a lot of athletes, they're bodybuilders, they like go and hidden shows. We always know what they need to work on in their off season, but then they want to go like run marathons, do kickboxing, triathlon, CrossFit. It's like, whoa, like those are conflicting goals. Like, going back to consistency, you can't kind of keep flip-flopping if your true ultimate goal is to gain size.
Agreed. You got to train for what you want. Have you ever seen a marathoner with a stellar physique? I haven't. They're not built for it. They don't train for it. So it's not.
Excellent runners, they can go forever and ever and ever. But yeah, same thing like with a cyclist. They're not necessarily going to have this massive upper body. Are they going to have a lot of legs and great calves? Absolutely, because they train for their goal. And so that's the difference between maybe training for a specific sport versus physique improvements. They are completely different. Hey, Patty.
Hey. So I got a lot of years under my belt. I mean, 20 plus years of consistent training. I've made a lot of mistakes along the way. Me and my buddy Walter Brick used to go in the gym like berserkers, just tweaked up on pre-workout and just throwing weights around. I mean, throwing them around without a thought about a negative, a squeeze, a stretch, nothing. We're just in there berserker, throwing the weights around. Did we make gains? Yes. Could we have made better gains? Yes. Could we have made faster gains? Yeah.
Did you guys get injured a lot? Because I hear that and I just instantly think like tweak back and all these things. But
there was a lot of tweaks during those years, yes. And it was fun, but we could have accelerated the gains.
Absolutely.
You know, there's a couple books I'm going to reference here. I read these 2 books back to back, and both of them emphasize the negative portion of the rep. You are firing more muscles in the negative portion of the rep. You're firing more muscle fibers. You're stronger during the negative portion of the rep. When you're throwing weights around, you're not worried about a negative. You're just worried about throwing the weight up,
right,
and then dropping it back down. So basically, you're doing a half a rep. So those 3 or 4 years I was training with Walter Brick, I was doing a half workout. I was.
Probably didn't know it though.
I had to get reminded. Thank you, Mr. Menser.
My hero.
The 3 phases of the rep: the positive, the isometric, and the negative. So there's 3 phases. You hit them, you come up, positive, hold, squeeze, isometric, and then lower down slowly, negative.
Absolutely. In fact, that isometric squeeze is probably the second strongest area of your rep.
It is.
And that was one of the things that I learned very early on training with James is like, you actually have to take that split second to squeeze and like maximum contract the muscle that you're training. You can't just bring the weight up and then instantaneously release. And a lot of times to be able to actually squeeze that muscle like that, you really do need to focus on the mind-muscle connection. And that's not always easy to do. It's really a process, a learning process to really engage all those muscle fibers.
Absolutely. When we're throwing weight around, there's no mind and muscle connection either. We're just moving weight, literally moving weight. You're a powerlifter, you're a strong man, that's fine. That's all you care about. Muscle hypertrophy is what I care about. It's what I'm after. Absolutely. And I'm explosive. I'm a powerful person. So I want to naturally go in there and explode on the weights because I'm an explosive person. So even today, I have to constantly remind myself, slow down.
Absolutely.
Squeeze the rep. Focus on the negative. Slow down. Also, when you're exploding all over the place, you're at a high risk for injury. So, absolutely. Slow down. We're lifting weights. We're making hypertrophy. We're not just moving the weights around.
Absolutely. And slow down doesn't mean it needs to take 3-4 hours in the gym necessarily. It's all about exercise selection, the weights you're picking to warm up with before hitting your sets, and just being really mindful of what you're doing in there and not doing junk volume. Yep. So that's like probably a huge topic too.
Yeah, absolutely. So secret 2, mind and muscle connection, do the perfect rep.
Absolutely.
Positive, isometric, negative. Make sure you're hitting all 3 phases. Focus on all 3 phases. Don't be a berserker like I was and just go in there and throw weights around. All right? Focus on that. All right, the next point I want to touch on goes back to effort. You got my logbook here. Hopefully you can see that. I log all my workouts. You can see all these are logged workouts. Now, the reason I do that is to track my weights. Mm-hmm. So when I was younger, I could remember my weights. I can't remember anymore. I have to write them down. That way I can remember them. The short I put up last week of me overhead pressing the 100-pound dumbbells for 6, that's awesome. But if I don't come in Monday, tomorrow morning, and do the 100 pounds for 7, I didn't hit a breakthrough set. I didn't make gains. I maintained what I had. So literally, I have to reference my book and say, all right, last week I did the 100-pound dumbbells for 6. I have to do 7 this week.
Absolutely.
There's no option. No matter what, I have to press those suckers for 7 times or I didn't make any gains.
Absolutely. And so that's a good point. So if for some reason you've logged and you've only been able to do 6 reps at the 100 for like the last month, something's wrong.
Something's
You
wrong.
really need to go back. It's like, am I overtrained? Am I not resting enough? Am I not eating for my goals? So it's really having the data to look back at.
And Mike Menzer says gut busting effort, sheer will. I mean, it's mind power. I'm already, it's Sunday morning at 6 a.m. I'm already thinking about getting my 7 reps tomorrow morning.
Absolutely.
That's my next workout. I'm already focused. I already got my strategy. I already know how I'm going to build up to it. And I already know 100%
Absolutely.
I'm going to get those 7 reps no matter what, because I have to get the gains.
Yeah, I like it too. It just keeps me accountable. I call myself out like, oh no, last time you had a couple more plates on there. There's no way we're ending the workout like this. Like, I do got to put in that gut busting effort. And that's not something that you're naturally going to want to do. Your body has defense mechanisms saying, hey, no, like, I'm at alarm. Don't do that to me. But, you kind of have to get past that. That's kind of where trainers help a lot of times too, or workout partners.
Sure. And, sometimes I'm dragging in the morning. We work out as soon as we wake up. And sometimes I'm a little groggy. I'm a little foggy. So I could easily make the excuse, I'm not awake. I can't do it. But I look at the numbers. I know I can do it because I just did it the week before.
Absolutely.
And I got to add 1 rep.
Absolutely.
So the recipe I've been doing, it's been working very well, is once I get 10 reps of something, I'll add weight and go for 6 reps. Get to 6, then go to 7, then go to 8, then go to 9, go to 10, add weight, and go back down to 6. You got it. And, you want to usually do those on your big compound moves, squats, deadlifts, bench press, overhead press, the big ones.
Absolutely.
The ancillary lifts, you can play with them a little bit, but your big compound movements is where you want to do your breakthrough set. It's where you break through to the next level and you actually achieve muscle hypertrophy.
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, in fact, I would be a little careful with adding too much weight too fast on some of those smaller stabilizer muscles. That's, exactly what they are. You really want to save the heavy lifts for your compounds.
Yes, and we're lifting heavy, so make sure they're controlled. Make sure they're smooth. Make sure, take a look at Bumstead working out. The dude's stronger than an ox. I mean, he's strong as can be. Never jerks anything. Never throw. I mean, he's smooth.
Perfect.
All the way up, squeeze, all the way down. Every rep of every exercise, I don't care what he's doing. They're super heavy and they're super controlled.
Yep. Even Mike Mentzer's book will mention that. It's like, keep adding weight, but never sacrifice form. The moment that form starts to go, you are done. And like, that was your last rep.
Yep. And that's progressive overload. I took a couple years off of heavy lifting. I wish I could get those years back as well.
Live and learn.
But you live and learn, right? So again, I went back to Mentzer's book and realized I wasn't training heavy enough. I wasn't making very many gains. I look decent, pretty ripped up, but not big.
Right.
So you got to add the heavy weights in. Look at all the top guys.
Absolutely.
None of them are lifting light weights.
Nope.
None. None of them are lifting light weights. Ronnie Coleman said himself, everybody wants to be a bodybuilder, but nobody wants to lift this heavy ass weight, right? Very true statement.
Very true.
Gut busting effort comes with the heavy weights.
Absolutely.
You're lifting heavy where you fail at 6 reps, you're going to be out of breath. You're going to be sweating. You put max effort into 6 reps and it does it. I mean, it'll do it.
Absolutely.
I remember reading Evan Centopani's leg workout 100 years ago. It was leg press, squats, deadlifts. And I went, I do 3 times more than that. That dude ain't getting legs. Yeah, right. What I wasn't accounting for was the intensity he was putting into those 3 exercises and the amount of weight he was lifting with those 3 exercises. If you do it right, leg press, squats, deadlifts is enough for your leg day.
Absolutely. And it may not be, fun and sexy after like the gazillionth time you've done it, but it works. And so at least for me, I'm trying to build up those hamstrings and glutes still. So those are my staples. Like I do those 3 first. And then if there's any energy left in the tank, I might do some accessory things, but only like a couple extra exercises. I don't have these like super long 10 exercise workouts when I'm training heavy like that.
Yeah, it goes back to the truth of the boring bodybuilding lifestyle. The best exercises are the best exercises for a reason.
Absolutely.
They will get you the most results, get you the best results, make you the most muscles. So you have to stick with those boring, basic exercises to get your gains.
Yeah.
You just have to add the weight, add the reps, put in that gut-busting effort into every set, every rep.
All right. So we talked about logging your workouts, but the nutrition is equally important. If you're not eating for the goal with the sole mind of like gaining mass, you're doing it wrong and you're not going to see those results. And a lot of times people like to do that in their head and they are way, way off.
Yep. Goes back to tracking your nutrition consistently,
Absolutely.
putting in the effort. Again, that word effort.
Absolutely.
To make sure you track, and you got to be meticulous. You know, the best guys, the best gals, they're all meticulous. They track their workouts, they track their food, they check the calories consistently. Nothing's guesswork here.
No, absolutely. And there's, you know, you got to weigh yourself, measure yourself, take photos and video of yourself. And you need all of those to figure out, am I getting what I need? And like, you know, going to the doctor, getting the blood work done, making sure everything's 100% prime to gain that muscle size.
Absolutely. Consistently doing bigger, better, stronger, harder workouts is your key, is the secret.
Absolutely.
That's the secret. Consistently going harder than you did before. Like I said, if you go in there and do the same thing, you didn't gain anything.
Right.
You might have maintained, but who wants to maintain? I want to make gains. I don't want to maintain.
Absolutely.
You know, we're in there busting our butts in the gym. I want gains for my efforts. I don't want to just maintain, you know?
Also, you know, your physique and your body, your physiologically, like you change year to year. And so sometimes you do need a second set of eyes or help. We were just at a posing clinic with Gary Udit yesterday. And one of the things he said is like, hey, take photos and videos and show them to like your friends or your coach or whoever, because when you're looking in the mirror, you're either like hyper focused on some negative aspect of your physique you don't like, or you're like, hey, I really love my triceps, they look good. And you're not seeing that overall picture of where you need to develop that size. So sometimes you come like blind to like what you're seeing. So it really does help getting that second opinion.
Yes, we take pictures and measure every 2 months. So it's a good way to track things. We also pose, do everything. But every 2 months, we're taking those pictures, we're taking those measurements, tracking. If we miss a measurement, we got to change something, figure out why,
Absolutely.
what went wrong, you know. And since we've been doing that, I've been making consistent gains.
Absolutely.
It's been great. Actually, been fun. You know, I never trained for strength before. Now that I'm getting pretty strong, it's kind of getting fun.
Absolutely.
The numbers are going up there now. So it's getting kind of a little bit fun to train for the strength and getting stronger and getting bigger. And I can see the gains, which is absolutely outstanding. I mean, nothing motivates like looking in the mirror and saying, whoa, that muscle's bigger than it was. Or, whoa, that line wasn't there. Hey, all right.
One other thing I'll just mention, like if you're trying to gain muscle size, you're not necessarily going to be walking around looking like you're chiseled, you know, statue, beach ready, show ready. You're going to have to allow yourself to gain a little extra fluff. I'm not saying you need to go all out or anything like that, but, you know, naturally when you're kind of eating for that goal of gaining size, you are going to gain a little body fat. So just, you know, a lot of people are like, hey, yeah, I want to gain size, but I also don't want to get fat. I don't like the way I look anymore. And it's like this conflicting body image issue that they have. And so then all of a sudden they start eating less because they're like, I want to look good this week. And it's like, well, we just kind of wasted all that time trying to put on size because now we're at a deficit. But
very true. And I think nutrition is going to be another video, what to eat to get huge.
Yeah.
But we're going to focus on the workout aspect of it now. We'll hit the nutrition in another video. It's just a little too deep. But she is correct. You know, you're going to get a little fluffy in the off season. That's how you make your gains. But we're going to go over that at another time. One more book I want to show you. This is a book on success, but you can certainly apply it to bodybuilding. You can apply it to anything in your life.
Absolutely.
10X, Grant Cardone. Why am I showing you a book about success in a bodybuilding podcast here, right? basically the premise of the book is whatever goal you have, whatever goal you think you can achieve, you're going to have to put in 10 times more effort than what you thought you were going to have to put in.
Absolutely. Oh, that's great. Kai's actually read that book. It's in his collection.
Nice.
Or her hidden.
So whatever you think it's going to take, add 10 to it, and then probably some more.
Absolutely.
I watched Ray Lewis, Baltimore Ravens linebacker, in a video. He was talking about he wasn't getting seen. He wasn't getting looked at. The only thing he could do, and he's putting a speech on, the only thing I do is put in more effort. I can put effort. Effort. The only way I'm going to get seen is put in effort. Absolutely. More effort than anyone else. More effort than I was putting in. Effort is what it takes. Gut busting
Absolutely.
effort. 10 times more effort.
Well, if it was easy, like we said, everyone would be walking around with those stellar physiques. Yeah. But even it doesn't matter who you are, you're going to have to put that hard work and that effort into it.
That's why I love the sport. You can't buy it.
Yeah.
You have to earn it. You have to get in there and bust your butt. You can't, there's no other way to do it. You have to get in there and bust your butt consistently. Absolutely. Lifting the heavy weights, going heavier, getting stronger, et cetera, which is great. And anybody can do it. Anybody. If you want it bad enough, you can do it. You don't need athletic ability.
Absolutely.
You just need discipline and drive, and anybody can do it.
Absolutely. I've seen his pictures when he was a child. I think we posted them. Like, anyone can do it. Absolutely. Like, he's gained an incredible amount of size. Even me, I remember back to like 2005, 8 time frame. Like, I'm lifting. I was like a little beanpole lifting my 8-pound weights, and it's like, why am I so skinny still? Like, it's because I need to go heavier. I need to put in more work. And now I have the biceps I have today, but those didn't come easy and they didn't come overnight.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, Kai Green says you learn something from every single workout.
Absolutely.
And I agree with that. You should learn something every workout. When you're a beginner, it's easy because you're coming from zero. So any stimulus should work.
Right.
However, you get a year in, it ain't easy. You get 2 years in, it's even harder. 3, 4. I'm 20 plus years in. It's extremely hard.
Got to create that trauma.
You got to create that trauma. You got to go hard to create that trauma to get them gains. Mm-hmm. There's no way around it.
All right. Well, I think that was it.
So, we gave you some secrets: consistency, track your workouts, the 3 phases of the rep, go heavy, etc. Apply these secrets. They work,
Absolutely.
Stick with it. These are the secrets to getting huge, and they aren't secrets. Everybody knows these things. They're out there. It's just there's a disconnect between a lot of people's brain and what effort actually is.
Absolutely.
And what 100% effort actually is. There's just a bit of disconnect there. You need to realize, and this helps.
Logging.
This will help you realize you got to put the effort in to get the gains, because you can't jump out. If you just did 6 reps the week before, you need to do 7 this week.
That's right.
Right? All right. Thanks for tuning in, y'all. Get huge.
That's right.
Use those secrets to get huge.
Hard work.
We're here for you. If you guys want anything, want to see anything, leave us a comment. Again, thanks for tuning in. We do this for y'all, and we appreciate y'all. All right.
Bye, everyone.